Welcome to Kismet Connect. The ideas we are exploring today come directly from our founder, Sajit Kesavan, and are built on his 16 years of deep study into occult sciences. Human nature gives us a fascinating imbalance. On any given day, life hands us a million opportunities to be grateful, yet somehow it serves up a billion opportunities to grumble and complain. So how do we actually fix that ratio? Do we require a spiritual master to step in and guide us? Or is it perfectly fine to just wake up, do our daily chores, sleep soundly, and live a quiet, normal life? Here is the strange thing about seeking guidance. If you are sleeping well and living without dilemma, introducing a guru might actually shatter your peace. You might suddenly feel like you aren't doing anything right, spending the rest of your life trapped in a sense of spiritual inadequacy. But Sajit challenges us to look a little closer at that so-called peaceful routine. If you just ask someone else to do the thinking while you mindlessly repeat a set of daily actions, you aren't growing. You're just reciting a script like a parrot. Think about it. If someone is reacting with the exact same bitterness and anger at 60 years old that they had when they were 20, no actual growth has happened. Merely surviving day-to-day life in comfort isn't evolution. To break out of that unconscious, repetitive loop, we often require an external force to shatter our own ego. That force is what we typically call a guru. If we look at the literal Sanskrit roots of the word, gu translates to darkness, and ru means the dispeller of that darkness. You can't physically kick or push darkness out of a room. Darkness is just an absence. It only ceases to exist when a source of light is introduced. Sajit notes that a true master doesn't micromanage your daily morality. They aren't going to impose rules on what you should eat for breakfast or dictate which of these splitting paths you have to take. It works exactly like sunlight hitting a street. The light simply exposes the jagged pits and the clear pavement. Where you actually place your foot is entirely up to you. The value of that guidance doesn't come from imposing strict behavioral rules. It comes entirely from providing the spiritual clarity needed to see reality exactly as it is. Yet, seeking that clarity carries a hidden risk. Finding a master can sometimes create an ego trap, where a disciple's sense of self-importance actually inflates rather than shrinks. You see people boasting about how close they are to the master, using their devotion as a badge of honor. When that happens, the guru becomes little more than a living statue or a shiny status symbol. According to Sajit, the absolute greatest benefit of this relationship occurs only when that rigid sense of self is violently shattered into dust. When that rigid self-image breaks, you stop seeing yourself as a lonely atom spinning in a void. Lifting your eyes from the chemistry of individual parts allows you to see the quantum physics of existence, where you and the universe are no longer separate. Breaking down that wall of ego is the mandatory threshold you have to cross to finally perceive your oneness with everything around you. You can absolutely walk this spiritual path alone. Relying solely on your inner voice is a valid option, but it is an incredibly slow and grueling process. Navigating growth by yourself is like climbing an infinite staircase, grinding upward step by step. Submitting to a guide offers a radically different trajectory. The path snaps into a straight vertical line. You step into a straight-up elevator, bypassing decades of trial and error. This is why Sajit ultimately concludes that finding this guidance completely outweighs all the daily complaints and grumblings life throws at us. We often look for a master on a pedestal, but the word guru actually describes the highest possibility of your own nature. Embracing that connection brings the profound clarity and rapid growth needed to dispel any initial fears of confusion. If you're ready to continue this journey of clarity and connection, make sure to subscribe below. Let's keep exploring together here at Kismet Connect.